Section 1 from the book of Genesis. Forever one God said to the serpent, "Because you have done this, you are cursed above all livestock, and above every animal of the field. On your belly you shall go, and you shall eat dust all the days of your life. I will put hostility between you and the woman, and between your offspring and her offspring. He will bruise your head, and you will bruise his heel." To the woman he said, "I will greatly multiply your pain in childbirth. You will bear children in pain. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you." To Adam he said, "Because you have listened to your wife's voice, and have eaten of the tree of which I commanded you, saying, 'You shall not eat of it,' cursed is the ground for your sake. In toil you will eat of it all the days of your life. It will yield thorns and thistles to you, and you will eat the plants of the field. You will eat bread by the sweat of your face until you return to the ground, for out of it you are taken, for you are dust, and to dust you shall return." The man called his wife Eve, because she would be the mother of all living. Forever one God made garments of skins for Adam and for his wife, and clothed them. Forever one God said, "Behold, the man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil. Now, lest he reach out his hand and also take of the tree of life, and eat and live forever." Therefore forever one God sent him out of the Garden of Eden to till the ground from which he was taken. So he drove out the man, and he placed cherubim at the east of the Garden of Eden, and the flame of a sword which turned every way to guard the way to the tree of life. The man knew Eve his wife. She conceived and gave birth to Cain, and said, "I've gotten a man with forever one's help." Again she gave birth to Cain's brother Abel. Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. As time passed, Cain brought an offering to forever one from the fruit of the ground. Abel also brought some of the firstborn of his flock and of its fat. Forever one respected Abel and his offering, but he didn't respect Cain and his offering. Cain was very angry, and the expression on his face fell. Forever one said to Cain, "Why are you angry? Why has the expression of your face fallen? If you do well, won't it be lifted up? If you don't do well, sin crouches at the door. Its desire is for you, but you are to rule over it." Cain said to Abel his brother, "Let's go into the field." While they were in the field, Cain rose up against Abel his brother and killed him. Section 2 from the book of Joshua. Now Jericho was tightly shut up because of the children of Israel. No one went out, and no one came in. Forever one said to Joshua, "Behold, I have given Jericho into your hand, with its king and the mighty men of valor. All your men of war shall march around the city, going around the city once. You shall do this 6 days. 7 priests shall bear 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark. On the 7th day you shall march around the city 7 times, and the priests shall blow the trumpets. It shall be that when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and when you hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall shout with a great shout, and the wall of the city shall fall down flat, and the people shall go up every man straight before him." Joshua the son of Nun called the priests and said to them, "Take up the ark of the covenant, and let 7 priests bear 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of forever one." They said to the people, "Advance, march around the city, and let the armed men pass on before forever one's ark." It was so that when Joshua had spoken to the people, the 7 priests bearing the 7 trumpets of ram's horns before forever one advanced and blew the trumpets, and the ark of the covenant of forever one followed them. The armed men went before the priests who blew the trumpets, and the ark went after them. The trumpets sounded as they went. Joshua commanded the people, saying, "You shall not shout, nor let your voice be heard, neither shall any word proceed out of your mouth, until the day I tell you to shout. Then you shall shout." So he caused the ark of everyone to go around the city, going about it once. Then they came into the camp, and lodged in the camp. Joshua rose early in the morning, and the priests took up the ark of everyone. The 7 priests bearing the 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of everyone went on continually and blew the trumpets, and the armed men went before them. The rear guard came after the ark of everyone. The trumpets sounded as they went. The second day they marched around the city once and returned into the camp. They did this 6 days. On the 7th day they rose early at the dawning of the day and marched around the city in the same way 7 times. Only on this day they marched around the city 7 times. At the 7th time, when the priests blew the trumpets, Joshua said to the people, "Shout, for everyone has given you the city. The city shall be devoted, even it and all that is in it, to everyone. Only Rahab the prostitute shall live, she and all who are with her in the house, because she hid the messengers that we sent. But as for you, only keep yourselves from the devoted thing, lest when you have devoted it, you take of the devoted thing. So would you make the camp of Israel accursed and trouble it. But all the silver and gold, and vessels of brass and iron, are holy to everyone. They shall come into everyone's treasury." So the people shouted, and the priests blew the trumpets. When the people heard the sound of the trumpet, the people shouted with a great shout, and the wall fell down flat, so that the people went up into the city, every man straight before him, and they took the city. They utterly destroyed all that was in the city, both man and woman, both young and old, and ox and sheep and donkey, with the edge of the sword. Joshua sent to the 2 men who had spied out the land, "Go into the prostitute's house, and bring out from there the woman and all that she has, as you swore to her." The young men who were spies went in, and brought out Rahab, with her father, her mother, her brothers, and all that she had. They also brought out all her relatives, and they set them outside of the camp of Israel. They burned the city with fire, and all that was in it. Only they put the silver, the gold, and the vessels of brass and of iron into the treasury of everyone's house. But Rahab the prostitute, her father's household, and all that she had, Joshua saved alive. She lived in the midst of Israel to this day, because she hid the messengers whom Joshua sent to spy out Jericho. Section 3, from the book of Ruth. Then Boaz said, "On the day you buy the field from the hand of Naomi, you must buy it also from Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of the dead, to raise up the name of the dead on his inheritance." The near kinsman said, "I can't redeem it for myself, lest I mar my own inheritance. Take my right of redemption for yourself, for I can't redeem it." Now, this was the custom in former time in Israel concerning redeeming and concerning exchanging. To confirm all things, a man took off his shoe and gave it to his neighbor, and this was the way of attestation in Israel. So the near kinsman said to Boaz, "Buy it for yourself." He took off his shoe. Boaz said to the elders and to all the people, "You are witnesses today that I have bought all that was Elimelech's and all that was Chilion's and Mahlon's from the hand of Naomi. Moreover, Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of Mahlon, I have purchased to be my wife, to raise up the name of the dead on his inheritance, that the name of the dead not be cut off from among his brothers, and from the gate of his place. You are witnesses today." All the people who were in the gate and the elders said, "We are witnesses. May everyone make the woman who has come into your house like Rachel and like Leah, which two built the house of Israel, and treat you worthily in Ephrathah, and be famous in Bethlehem. Let your house be like the house of Perez, whom Tamar bore to Judah, of the offspring which forever one shall give you of this young woman. So Boaz took Ruth, and she became his wife, and he went in to her, and forever one gave her conception, and she bore a son. The women said to Naomi, Blessed be forever one, who has not left you today without a near kinsman, and let his name be famous in Israel. He shall be to you a restorer of life, and sustain you in your old age. For your daughter-in-law, who loves you, who is better to you than 7 sons, has borne him. Naomi took the child, and laid it in her bosom, and became nurse to it. The women, her neighbours, gave him a name, saying, There is a son born to Naomi. And they named him Obed. He is the father of Jesse, the father of David. Now, this is the history of the generations of Perez. Perez became the father of Hezron, and Hezron became the father of Ram, and Ram became the father of Amminadab, and Amminadab became the father of Nahshon, and Nahshon became the father of Salmon, and Salmon became the father of Boaz, and Boaz became the father of Obed, and Obed became the father of Jesse, and Jesse became the father of David. Section 4, from the book of Matthew. Jesus went about in all Galilee, teaching in their synagogues, preaching the good news of the kingdom, and healing every disease and every sickness among the people. The report about him went out into all Syria. They brought to him all who were sick, afflicted with various diseases and torments, possessed with demons, epileptics and paralytics, and he healed them. Great multitudes from Galilee, Decapolis, Jerusalem, Judea, and from beyond the Jordan followed him. Seeing the multitudes, he went up onto the mountain. When he had sat down, his disciples came to him. He opened his mouth and taught them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the gentle, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God. Blessed are those who have been persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people reproach you, persecute you, and say all kinds of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For that is how they persecuted the prophets who were before you. You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt has lost its flavour, with what will it be salted? It is then good for nothing, but to be cast out and trodden under people's feet. You are the light of the world. A city located on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do you light a lamp and put it under a measuring basket, but on a stand, and it shines to all who are in the house. So let your light shine before others, that they may see your good work and glorify your Father in heaven. Don't think that I came to destroy the law or the prophets. I didn't come to destroy, but to fulfill. For most certainly I tell you, until heaven and earth pass away, not even one dot of an I or cross of a T shall in any way pass away from the law, until all things are accomplished. So, whoever breaks one of these least commandments and teaches others to do so will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever keeps and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I tell you that unless your righteousness exceeds that of the scribes and Pharisees, there is no way you will enter the kingdom of heaven.